Good morning from the Tweetsie Trail. Today I'm in Johnson City, Tennessee. No, I haven't seen Darius Rucker anywhere. It surprises me too. Anyways, let's get out on the trail. It is a cool, crisp 32 degrees in Tennessee. It's supposed to warm up though. Probably not before I'm done with the trail though. Milligan Depot. Another little overlook. Morning. They're a cute little fluff ball. So most of this trail is pretty hard packed, but there's a few sections, like the section under that bridge I just went under. It's very loose, so you gotta be careful, especially if you have skinnier tires. But for the most part, it seems pretty solid. Well, there's the trailhead at this end. That's the end of it. That's the end of the Tweetsie Trail. So, I've had a few weeks to think about this trail and what I expected versus what I actually experienced. And after riding the trail, I honestly thought this was going to be the first trail I've ever ridden that I couldn't recommend. But as I thought about it and reflected on it, this trail has so much potential. And I don't want to throw shade on something that is amazing and with a little love and care can be even more amazing. So if you're interested in riding the Tweetsie Trail, here's what I would suggest. I would park at the Johnson City trailhead across from Locomotion, I think I'm saying that right, bike shop. And I would ride out the 6 or so miles to Sycamore Shoals State Historic Park. That first stretch, about 6 miles, is absolutely gorgeous. Now there are many conveniences if you pass the Sycamore Shoals State Historic Park. There's so many restaurants, there's a Walmart, there's gas stations. There's every modern convenience you could possibly need. But I would just say that if you don't need any of those conveniences, stop at the Sycamore Shoals State Park, hang out, and go back. While you're at the Sycamore Shoals State Park, check out Fort Watauga, I believe it is. It's in the video. It's kind of neat. And the whole little park is just, it's great. The visitor center was wonderful. The lady inside was super nice. Both of the ladies inside were super nice. They have a 15 or 20 minute video you can watch. And there's just so much history. And speaking of history, there's so much history along this trail. I would normally stop and take pictures of the placards, but it was so cold this day, and I planned to stop and take pictures on the way back, and I let my mood get away from me because of what happened. So I didn't. But after Sycamore Shoals State Historic Park, the trail heads into a busy shopping area. I'm not saying that's bad. Actually, with the right upkeep and some safety improvements, it can really be a solid part of the ride. But speaking on safety, there are no barriers to prevent cars from accidentally driving onto the trail. Most trails I ride, they don't need barriers. A lot of them have barriers and they just seem kind of pointless and silly. But after what I'm about to tell you next, maybe they're not so silly. And I'm going to reach out to the Tweetsie Trail Conservancy after the holidays and let them know about this as well. I don't think this video will be out before then, so I'll have time to reach out to them prior to everybody seeing this video. And in case you didn't know, the Tweetsie Trail Conservancy is a nonprofit organization dedicated to the care and development of the trail. Basically, they're to the Tweetsie Trail as the Simon Kenton Pathfinders are to my local trail. And without groups like this, these trails can't exist, or at least they can't get the maintenance that they need. On my way back from the end of the trail, an older gentleman somehow ended up behind me on the trail. He clipped me with the mirror of his truck. Thankfully, nothing serious. I was startled at first. I immediately started, well, you can imagine how I was acting immediately. Now, this gentleman pulled over immediately. He got out, incredibly apologetic, and honestly, after talking with him for a few minutes, I couldn't even be frustrated with him. We probably spoke for a good 20 or 30 minutes, and to make a long story short, the gentleman explained how he only comes to town about once a month because his son used to bring him to town, but his son passed away last year at the age of 76, I believe. We went into talking about public transit and options for him to get to town. And after him apologizing about 30 more times, it seems like, we eventually said our goodbyes. I was fine. My bike was fine. The only real, I don't even want to call it an injury, but I put my foot down to catch myself, and my pedal bit, the cleats on my pedal bit the back of my calf. But apart from that, this couldn't have went any better. But don't let this deter you. We should always, as cyclists or people riding bikes, because I'm no cyclist, we should always have our heads on a swivel. And I just keep thinking back about how I should have heard him behind me. I didn't have my headphones in. I was paying full attention, and it just caught me by complete surprise. So, yeah, barriers. Barriers are kind of necessary in some places. But that's not the only reason I say to turn around at Sycamore Shoals. It's just that after Sycamore Shoals, the trail's less maintained. There's more, we'll say, urban inconveniences. And there's not really anything to see. At one point you're just looking at the back of houses or at the front of houses. And then you get to the trailhead and there's just a Snap-on factory there. But anyways, there is so much to love about the first 6 miles or so of this trail. I just wanted to let you know what you could potentially be getting into with the rest of the trail. Well guys, that's it for the Tweetsie Trail. Let me know in the comments what you think about the trail, if you've rode the trail or just from watching the video. I'm sure by now I've put my opinions in the video. So I'll see you on the next trail. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching this all the way through. If you're still here, like and comment. Tell me about an adventure you've had recently. I'll see you on the next trail.